And because we only have 90 days to teach 180 days worth of curriculum, we are still held to the very same standards that all comprehensive high schools in the state of Massachusetts are held to. We are tested exactly the same with our standardized testing, which we all have come to love in our state. It is considered a graduation requirement. It is partially what determines if our students graduate, and they get the exact same test as a comprehensive high school. So the interdisciplinary nature of literacy is really something that our academic department has keyed in on and has made it very, very clear in all of our meetings that in science, math, social studies, and in English language arts, this is something that is a really, really big capstone for all of us, and it's all of our jobs to bring across the board. So we've gotten a lot of professional development in literacy, and I am hugely in love with integrating technology in the classroom. So I wanted to share some of my favorite things and what I do in my classroom. One of the things that I really enjoy is utilizing essential questions as a jumping off point, specifically with literacy and content in mind. So this is usually my great jumping off point. And one of the ways that I like to use it with is with something called Padlet. It's a website, and we are going to see, if you want to use the QR code, you certainly can, but I do have it ready to go right here. This is Padlet. I will post an essential question for my students. In this case, think about the world today. Think about one problem that we as a society face, name it, and then explain how you would fix it. Well, my sophomores in my honors U.S. History 2 class absolutely loved this entire concept of thinking about a problem. And this website is completely live, it's interactive. The students hopped on the Chromebooks in the class. They all had individual Chromebooks, but all of a sudden I heard Nicole shouting across the classroom at Alden and saying, "Alden, I was going to write that," or "That was a great idea." A lot of the students, the biggest idea when we did this problem that we as a society face today was body image for women. And I have, at a technical high school, I have mostly boys in my classes, but the girls really, really took to this idea that they don't like that women's bodies are either objectified in magazines or photoshopped, and this really started a conversation. And I didn't even have to facilitate it. They were facilitating it live, and they could see as they were typing. And we took an entire class period. Yes, ma'am?
Do we have to join it, or?
No. What I do is I literally either put the QR code up. If you went to the QR code, you could add to this right now as we speak. It's still live. I will send it on Google Classroom. They'll click it, and it's live. They sign up for nothing. I'm the only one that has to sign up, which is what I love. We never like to have passwords for 1,000 things. Try to streamline that as much as we can. So they love this. They absolutely eat this up. They can do it in groups. They can do it individually. I mean, as you can see, love you all. And they're 14-year-olds in a classroom. So that's very positive, and it was really, really engaging, which I loved. And it really got them talking in class, writing in class. They were really invested in this. Yes?
I can't remember. I know I've used it. Are you able to delete inappropriate language?
Absolutely.
That was the one question.
Absolutely. You certainly can. Oh, another question. Hi.
Hi. And the only way to access it is through that NCTE specific.
Yes, every time you create a new wall on Padlet, you get a mini URL, and that's exactly what you send, and every single one is unique, and it doesn't go away. So you can access it next year if you'd like. You can delete all their comments. You can start a new wall, anything you'd like. It's really, really user-friendly. All right, let's go back.
So it's like a wiki.
It is. All right, there's screenshots. So this is what it looks like on a screenshot. Then you can use it. I believe they have an app as well. So then jumping off of the progressive era after we did this, now it comes to our primary source documentation, which in social studies, in my particular discipline, is very, very important for us to integrate. But inevitably, when you're reading a document from the progressive era from the 19th century, there are going to be words that students don't understand, regardless of how intelligent they may be. They're not going to have seen things. So from a literacy end of things, you generally start with words, either academic or content specific, that they don't understand. And I have them highlight them, we discuss them. If it's something like borax, it might not be something that they see every day, or glycerin. Most of my boys, they're all, glycerin, we know. So one of the things that we like to do is I love Google Classroom. classroom. This has changed my teaching. It just came out over the summer, and it has absolutely changed how I teach. As Keith said, you can integrate assignments in there, you can grade assignments, a comment on assignments, students can turn them in. And the nice thing is that your inbox on Google Drive isn't inundated with documents. It creates a subfolder all by itself, it organizes everything for you, and you don't have 70,000 things being shared with you individually. It automatically organizes them and students turn them in. It's fantastic. So I recommend it. Yes, Cam?
So if they have a Google Plus account, that's something that they can ban.
Right away. Yes?
Do you ever use Edmodo?
I have. My science department does it. They love Edmodo.
Okay, and because I use that, and I'm just wondering how they compare.
Um,
I know there's a lot of
There's a lot of similarities. We use this because we're a Google Apps for Education school, and so we're starting to integrate it into the fabric of our community because our students are using their Google accounts and Google Drive. That's how they're sharing documents. So this just made sense because it's seamless. They already have everything.
I'm using both right now still in my classroom because I find since Google Classroom is still so new, there's things that Edmodo does that Google Classroom does not yet do.
That's right.
So like Edmodo, I can still make quizzes on there. My 6th graders love like the awarding of badges, and I find it very motivating for the younger age group especially, but I'm using the Google Classroom as a great place for announcements and to hand in assignments. So I'm using more Edmodo like in the classroom as a strategy for learning interactively during the day, and Google Classroom more as a place they go at home to check in on things.
But you can use Google Forms to create online quizzes as well, and I use Guru to grade on Google, so absolutely, it's brand new. I just use it because it's been seamless with our Google Apps for Education. So one of the great things that I like to do with words especially and key terms, comprehensive key terms, the students create all their own study guides. When we come up with a word, they all have this one single document shared with them, and they can all access it. If you see, I'm not revising this document. When you open the revision history, it's my students. I didn't create this, they did. I gave them the opportunity to create a comprehensive list of terms for the progressive era. They came up with it, and they're the ones that are populating the information. And the great thing is, unlike using stagnant vocabulary sheet that you would assign and then have them bring home with them, and they're the only ones responsible for it, from an aspect of community, and what the professors from Leslie have been really discussing, is that we love utilizing the technology to create a sense of community. And in this instance, the students know that they're responsible for something, and that they don't just have to answer to me if they don't do their job. They have to answer to 25 other people, and I guarantee you they're not going to be as nice as I am about it. Yes?
You just kind of say like, so many, like you have to like add some items on there, or kind of like put a...
What I did is I gave them a segment. I said you're responsible for 1 through 5, and then they can basically, if they're in a group of 2 and they decide they want to split it up, they can do that. But the nice thing is I know exactly who did what and who was assigned what, so I can grade them based on participation. And again, their classmates know, hey, whoever had number 15 through 20, you're dropping the ball, and we need that because this is our study guide. So it's that sense of community, that sense of responsibility that's really being implemented, and it's not just being implemented by me, it's being implemented by them, and they really get invested, and they're really laser focused in the classroom with this.
So they don't actually have to do like on Google Docs, where you have to invite others to edit.
No,
Automatically you can edit one another's.
what in Google Classroom you have the option to do, you can send a copy of a document to every single student individually, so it marks it with their name. You can have them just be able to view it, or you can send one document to all of them so that they can collaborate together. And in this instance, that's what I did.
And you have the words on there already, the terms you want them to...
Not all of them. If they thought that I had some of them on there, but if they thought something needed to be added, I could go ahead and add it. You're making your study guide if you think it's important, go right ahead. So I have about a 15-second video where you can see how they did this. So this is me at my computer taking a quick video. All of these students are in the document. You can see them adding to it live. All of them are in there simultaneously at the same time, and I'm just sitting at my desk taking a video, facilitating, and I go around, and if they're struggling, you know, if they're on Wikipedia, I say, get off of there, find something better than that. And sadly, that's the toughest part of that job. Get off Wikipedia and find something more reputable. So we have the same exact excerpt from Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. One of the other literacy strategies that I like to use, especially utilizing technology, is the gist. Tell me a quick summary in exactly 20 words. It's like a puzzle. So this is on Google Classroom. Each of them gets their own copy of it through Google Classroom, and they're able to fill it in exactly 20 words. I've given you an example of a gist from Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. For those of you that don't know, he is an influential progressive from the 19th century. He was an extremely effective muckraker of the progressive era who exposed the disgusting conditions of the meatpacking industry, and boy did he ever. The next thing I like to do, especially with difficult documents, is do a reread. It's not enough just to do it once, especially if it's a primary source document. The students glaze over things. They don't get the intricacies of the document. So we generally do a reread that are text-specific. I can jigsaw this and have a few students do one of them and then present to the class, or I can assign the entire document, and basically we go through the different areas. Here is another quick 15-second video of my classroom, and I have my sophomore students doing something similar. They're working on developing those rereading activities. This is in my classroom. They each have their Chromebooks. They're working. They could have notes next to them, so it's not technology completely dependent. For those that like to use other things, this is Joe working diligently on his Chromebook. So now we have 2 sentences and quotations from the reading to share with the class if they think that are important. Answer 2 text-dependent questions. They're coming up with questions that can be answered from the text. And then we have words that you might think are important or you may not understand. Get an image to help you out with that. And then create a drawing, a graphic, or a collage that helps you understand and apply what the author is trying to tell you. The nice thing about utilizing the Chromebook, if they want to draw it, they can snap a picture of it on their phone. We can put the JPEG right in. If they're not very artistic and they want to search the web and try to find something, this is an image from Upton Sinclair's The Jungle itself, so they can find a representative example. We're not going to blow away, it's just the fence. All right, now what Valerie was talking about earlier is the fact that one of the things that I like to do is I extend the classroom outside of my classroom. With my students, I get them 1 week, and then I don't see them for 5 whole class days. And I swear to you, they forget who I am. They forget where to go. They forget what my name is. Not. The first couple weeks, they have no idea who I am, and they don't know where to go. So one of the ways that I like to connect with them outside the classroom is I've created a website. It's it's called WYSIWYG. It's what you see is what you get. Weebly.com has been something that has absolutely created a new dimension in my teaching and given to my students access to all of my materials 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I have a Weebly website that I've created, and I have it right here for you. So this is my website. I'm going to talk to you about Remind as well in a second, definitely. But I have every single document that I've given every single one of my students in the courses right here. All of my units are here. Everything is by month and by topic. And I've also been working with our bilingual coordinator to put in materials in Spanish and eventually Portuguese. Our ELL population has quadrupled in the last year, as has our autistic population. So having access to documents 24 hours a day is hugely important for a lot of our students. We also have a 36%